Good afternoon. We'll go ahead and call to order a special call meeting of the Cobb County Board of Elections. We'll call the meeting to order at 2:31 p.m. Obviously, we are here to take up additional considerations with respect to the certification or the recertification of the City Council Post 1 race election results. Prior to getting to that, however, Ms. Madeline Orachena, I believe you would like to address the board.
Yesterday, the 3-day-long recount was completed. The results have changed and the margin has narrowed, but the outcome has remained the same. I am proud of all that we've accomplished during our campaign. As I've said from the beginning, I believe that it's my job as a candidate to be open and honest about my values and my platform, and to campaign with a clear message with motivation to serve my community. And I did just that. In every election, regardless of the outcome, the sanctity of the vote must be protected. Every vote was counted and we failed to receive the most votes. Of course, I'm disappointed in this outcome, but in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I have much to be grateful for. Congratulations to Ms. Lynette Burnett. I wish Kennesaw all the best and will continue to serve the community and work towards progress. My message to the community is to get involved, speak up for what you believe is right, challenge what you see is wrong, and know your candidates and vote.
Thank you. And thank you for your patience. Admittedly, we would have liked to have concluded it as, a bit quicker, but we did move as quickly as we could, and we do appreciate your patience and your grace, if you will. So I thank you. With that, the next item on the agenda is the recertification of the race results after the recount was concluded. Madam Director, do you have anything to share?
I just did want to share with you the differences that the recount shows that where it's not on the original count. As with all recounts, it does hinge upon us getting all of the ballots out of the storage because we have so many ballots. In this case, the absentee mail ended up being two votes short in its total number of votes being counted. So as you see on the printout that you have in front of you, there are 620 total votes. In the original count, there were 622. So that tells us that we neglected to get one of the batches out of the storage boxes and identifying that it was a Kennesaw batch. The other difference is on the advanced voting. The original count was 5,497 votes total cast. And the new one is 5,498 in the recount. And we do know of an instance at the Ben Robertson Community Center during advanced voting where a ballot was jammed in the scanner. And it was unclear whether that ballot had actually counted or not when the paper jam was released. And it would be apparent to us that if that was this case, that was not counted during the original count at the polling place. And when it was rescanned, it counted the recount.
Okay, and I'm sorry, what was the original?
5497.
Okay.
So that advanced voting category was one additional ballot. And in the absentee mail, there was 2 ballots short in the recount.
Okay.
So that did change the margin, as Ms. Orachena said, and the outcome is the same, Ms. Burnett being the winner, but the margin is now 29 instead of 31, which it was previously. It was a long and grueling recount. We did have to rescan some of the boxes because there was a team that wasn't scanning properly, managing their ballots. You have to make sure you're getting ballots in once, scanning them and moving them to the box, and that was not the process wasn't really being followed as tightly as possible, and so we weren't sure what the results of those 11 boxes that they weren't really keeping track very well. So, in abundance of caution, because the numbers weren't coming out as far as the number of ballots, we rescanned 11 boxes, and that's one of the reasons why it took an extra day. So that's concludes my report. Okay.
Mr. Bartlett, Mr. Burning, do you all have questions?
I just have one comment that, as I understand it or observed, even though this election had only a total of 9,600 votes, 9,608 votes, we actually had to rescan or read 185,000, something like that. Because of a large number of advanced in-person voting, and those ballots all stick together. I mean, we don't have a way to determine which ballot is in which precinct. And so we have to rescan them all. And that's a huge burden. That's what took so long. 185,000 is a lot of scanning.
I'd like to commend Janine Evler and her staff for the long hours y'all put in. I don't know how many man or people hours we put in, but you went over. But y'all went over and above and beyond the call of duty. And Janine, you're to be commended for what a phenomenal job in spite of the challenges we had. Because again, there's always going to be people error, there's always going to be machine error, but your people were ready to stand tall and make the difference. And I really appreciate that. I know all the time I was here, your people were just constantly working, and I appreciate that, and jumped on it as soon as we found out about it and made a difference. I really believe.
Thank you. I'd like to say that Ms. Orchina and her mother were here the whole time with us as well. And I don't really think it's beyond the call of duty because that is part of
I
responsibility.
understand that.
But to make sure that she got her fair recount. And so it was a lot of work. Thank you for what you're saying, but it was our duty to do that.
And I will just echo what Board Member Gartland has said with regard to the team and the amount of work that has gone into this, while in the midst of also preparing for a runoff election that will commence on Saturday, or voting will commence on Saturday.
And even our lawyer taking all the questions that he had to answer. So.
Well, with that, unless there's anything further, I believe, given the difference with respect to the rescan, and we understand why there is a difference. It's a difference of 2, I believe, 2. 29 versus 31.
Yeah, it's a net.
It's a net difference of 2.
More and
One was less, right? So it's net 2. I will entertain a motion to certify the results of the special city council post 1, the recount of the recounted results of special city council post 1.
I'll make that motion.
Well, thank you.
I second.
It's been moved and properly seconded to recertify the results of the special city council post 1 for Kennesaw. All those in favor, if you'll say so.
Aye.
Aye. That being unanimous, so the recertification is passes. At this point, again, not a long agenda, but obviously to my earlier point, we are moving into a runoff election. I know our teams are preparing today for the advanced in-person voting that will commence on Saturday in 5 locations, continue on Sunday at 6 locations, and then on Monday through Friday in 12 locations across the county. I don't know if either of you have anything you want to share. No? Dr. Evelyn. All that being said, we will then adjourn the meeting at 2:41. Thank you. Oh, don't go too soon.